Joining us now from Senate Armed Services, Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator, it's so good to see you again. Okay, help us out here. So we got President Biden campaigning in Pennsylvania today, talking about tax hikes. But USA Today reports Biden is losing blue-collar workers in states like Pennsylvania. Those workers saying the Democrat Party abandoned them. Also, the Wall Street Journal says Biden is falling behind with independents. Show the polls. Biden is really underwater still in the polls. Senator, what do you make of all this?
Well, if you've got a job in this country, Liz, and you're paying taxes, you're not going to vote for this guy. I mean, he cares little about the people in this country that are paying taxes. He wants to help people that will just vote for him and just buy votes. That's what's happening at the southern border. But, you know, it's just American people are tired of this. They're tired of all this background noise that the Biden administration is pushing on the American people. Everything's negative. There's nothing positive. Now we've got wars all over the world. But I'm telling you, the workers in this country are fed up with having to pay for all these bills, and the bills are stacking up every day, and Joe Biden's going to pay the price for it next November.
And, you know, Senator, this is really interesting. You know, police officers and cops in Florida, it sounds like voters and cops, they're really sick of these pro-Hamas, anti-Israel protesters. They tried to blockade the Port Miami in Florida, but cops removed them within 15 minutes. They pulled them out of the road, arrested many of them. You know, Senator, you compare that to other states like, you know, shutting down the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, or trying to block Chicago's O'Hare Airport. You know, Florida passed that anti-riot law 3 years ago. What do you make of all this?
Well, we're becoming a third world country, and we're allowing the criminals, the people, to overtake our country and just bypass our laws. Liz, you know, we don't need to use these people as road bumps, but we do need to have some kind of law saying if you try to block traffic and you try to block the things that are going on in this country to stop trade, you know, whether it's ports or whether it's airports, all those things, it's an automatic fine and a jail sentence. You don't even have to go to court. This is ridiculous. It's going to get worse. You know, what's going on over in Gaza, now in the Middle East, it's getting out of control. It's going to even get more out of control. I met with a soldier last week that was here on leave, the IDF soldier. He said, Coach, we're not just trying to win, we're just trying to survive in Israel. And that's what's going on. So Biden's trying to play the fence here. And the Palestinians here in this country, they want Joe Biden to be completely against Israel. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, and they're supporting terrorists who literally, we've seen the 10/7 tape. We're not going to go into how repugnant it was and execrable. It was just, it's beyond the pale. You know, they tried to occupy the street in front of Vice President Kamala Harris's home in Brentwood, California. That happened. They tried to block the airport in Seattle. That happened. They tried to shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. Senator, we'd like to get your take on what Newt Gingrich says. Watch this.
Way back in 1984, Ambassador Jeane Kirkpatrick made an amazing speech at the Republican National Convention, in which she described the Blame America First Democrats and said, whatever happens anywhere in the world, the reaction of the American left is blame America first. Well, guess what? That was Joe Biden. He was in the Senate already. He was part of that. Now he's surrounded by people who are crazy. And the fact is, I think we ought to go back and learn the lessons of the 1930s. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was faced with a Nazi effort inside the United States. They locked people up. I believe, frankly, we should say, if you are for the victory of Iran, if you want to scream death to America, we're deporting you. If you're an American, we're going to try you for treason. You can't get up and say death to America as an American citizen. And it's time that we were prepared to defend the survival of the United States. And I think that it's time we confront it head on.
What do you think, Senator? By the way, show the viewer the tweets from even Democrat Senator John Fetterman joining senators like yourself and Marco Rubio speaking out against these protesters. What do you think, Senator?
Well, defend the American people, the citizens, the taxpayers of this country first. Defend our Constitution and our way of life, and forget the rest of these people. Newt Gingrich is exactly right. If they don't like being here, get gone. And people are getting sick of this. And again, it's all because we allow them to do it. There's no consequences that is given to these people. You saw all these riots back years ago before, during President Trump. Nothing was done to these people. Then we have the so-called riots here in the Capitol on January 6th. We have hundreds of those people in jail. I mean, it's a two-way street here.
Got it. Senator Tuberville, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's good to see you, sir.
Thank you. You too.